In this video, we're going to know the reason why expired domain is not working for you, and also the best practice which you can be able to use to make expired domain to work for you. This video will have two sections, so pay attention. You're going to learn the right strategy to do 301 expired domain redirecting that can increase your page ranking and also increase your traffic. That's very important. So if it's your first time coming across to my channel, I teach about practical SEO and Google AdSense arbitrage. Make sure you subscribe and turn the notification bell, and if you really like what I'm doing, make sure you like this video. So let's go. Let's assume that you don't have expired domain yet, or maybe you are planning to buy one. This is very important. I'm going to be using expired domain .net to get an expired domain and show those mistakes you are doing that made expired domain not to work for you. But if you really want to increase your ranking, you need an old domain which have a good authority to redirect to your website. So let's do that. So the first thing we're going to do is to find the domain, and I'm going to also point out the errors most of you ignore and also show the best strategy you can implement to get it right. And if you get it right, don't forget to come back to this video and comment and tell me how it's going, because it's very important. It's going to work 100%. This is guaranteed. So pay attention, don't skip any part of this video. So the first thing we're going to do is to get expired domain. And now when we're talking about getting expired domain, we have to get expired domain that is close to our niche. This is very important. A lot of people have been doing this mistake, getting expired domain that is not close to their niche, and it's very bad. It's a bad practice, but not just that bad as the one you are doing currently, because there is an error that I'm going to show that most of you are doing. Now if we go to show filter, I'm also going to scroll down and get available domain, okay, and click choose a domain that have a backlink within 100 upward. So we're going to type 100. Now the next thing I'm going to do is to go to additional and choose the domain extension, which is very important. The next other thing I'm going to do is to go to SEO. Under SEO, sorry, I'm going to go to Majesty. Under Majesty, I'm going to leave the caption flow to be 9. Trust flow should be 9. Now the next thing I'm going to do is the topic, Majestic topic trust flow. Now this is the place to choose the close niche. If it's not the main niche, let it be close niche. Okay, if it's all about pets, get a domain. If your domain is all about food, something like food, get a domain that is going to be telling people about nutrients, how to go for a good diet. Maybe you talk about cooking, but the other domain is talking about how to, eat a good diet or whatever. You can easily use that type of domain to redirect to a cooking niche. Okay, now the next thing we're going to do, let me pick a domain. I'm going to be picking a domain under spokes. Let's assume that I have domains that talks about spokes, in fact everything about spokes. So I'm going to be looking for expired domain within spokes. Now this is very important. Okay, let me pick a domain. Let me pause this video and choose properly, then filter it. So once I choose the domain that I want, the topic authority that I want, which is under spokes, I choose 10 category under spokes. Okay, once I choose that, I will apply filter. Now that's not where the whole thing end up. This is very important. You need to pay attention. Again, if you look at this place, this means redirection. This means this domain have been redirected more than 240 times. Please go for domain that have been redirected once or twice or 0 time. Okay, now let's say for example want to pick this particular domain. This is the domain I want to pick, for example. Okay, let me pick this particular one. There's something I want to show in this video that is going to blow your mind and the mistake you are doing. Okay, now if we copy this domain, now go back to SEMrush, go to domain view, overview. This is very important. We need to do that. Okay, this is something error. Okay, sorry for the error message. Okay, and once I click the domain here, put it inside here and search the domain, there is something I want to show that you need to pay attention. Stop buying expired domain that have lesser link in the home page. Now this is the reason. Let me show you guys. If you go to backlinks, now if we open backlinks, and I'm going to draw something that is very important, you need to understand. You need to pay attention to this. This is the place you are getting it wrong. When you are buying expired domain that half of the links are pointing to content category, Once you buy the domain, those pages are not existing. Buy expired domain that have backlinks to the home page throughout. This is a spamming domain. This is an example of avoiding this type of domain. But the thing I want to point out to you here is that any domain you want to buy that most of the links are pointing to the content, half of the links are only 2 links are pointing to the home page, is a red flag. If you redirect this type of domain to your website, you're not going to get it right. Now this is it. If, for example, I'm going to use a draw board so we can be able to get this thing right once and for all, for those of you who are redirecting expired domain to your website. Now this is expired domain, and if, for example, if you redirect if you get expired domain that have 70 links, let's say for example 70 links, which is BBC, CNN, backlinks are pointing to this website, but they are not pointing to the home page. Okay, the links are not pointing to the home page, but they are pointing to the content. Don't buy it, because if you buy it and redirect it, once Google run an update to update Google search run an update or do any update algorithm, it's going to affect your website. The reason is that half of these backlinks, which is the BBC and CNN, are not pointing to the home page. Okay, they are not pointing to the home page. These links are pointing to category. These links are pointing to what? Pointing to the content, which means the expired domain, once you buy it, those pages are not available again. They are not available. They're not going to be available again. The only backlink, the only expired domain you need to buy are expired domain if these BBC backlinks and the CNN backlinks are pointing to the home page, is a good go-to. Okay, now if BBC and CNN are pointing to the home page of that expired domain, you buy it. But if it's pointing to the content of that expired domain, don't buy it, because Google is going to count it as lost backlink. The reason why Google have not counted it as a lost backlink is because most of these tools cannot give a current update of what Google have rejected. And most times, once they are going to pick, when they are going to pick the lost backlink is when the Google run an update. They pick the current algorithm record and show you that you have lost this link, and lost this link. This is the reason, because the reason is that most of the links that is pointing to the expired domain are not pointing to the home page of that expired domain. So if you buy it because of the matrix without considering if those links that made you to buy it, let's say for example Wikipedia is pointing to it, but the Wikipedia is not pointing to the home page of that domain, is a red flag. You don't need to buy it, because you can't replace those pages that have lost the link. Okay, these pages, like let's say for example, if we go over to this place, go to this place, let me say for example, this is the expired domain. Under the expired domain, this is the expired domain. This is very important, you need to pay attention. This is the expired domain, and under expired domain you have something like how to make money online, or how to make money with real estate. Okay, how to make money. Okay, that's what it looks like. Okay, let's say for example like this, how to make money. Okay, fine. This particular content is coming from the expired domain. Okay, and somebody that have this expired domain before points BBC backlinks to how to make money. And let's say for example, this is the BBC backlink is pointing to how to make money. So the person that have this domain build BBC backlinks to how to make money with real estate, for example. Now if you buy this domain now because of BBC, you are wasting your time, because I wish the BBC backlink is pointing to the domain direct. That's when you're going to know is a good buy and is a good go-to. So this is the reason why most of you have buy expired domain, redirect several 2, 3, 4 to your website, and nothing is happening, because the domains that attract you to buy it, those referring domains that is pointing to the expired domain, are not pointing to the main homepage. They are all pointing to the content, non-existing content. And when Google run an update, this is going to affect your website, because these domains are not pointing to you, because you'll be waiting for a good result to show up. The only time it's going to be a good buy is when half of the domains are pointing to the homepage. So let me show a typical example of what exactly you need to do. Now if we go over to, okay, let's copy this particular one and also analyze. You can do this for yourself. It's very, very simple. The only decision to take here is to find domain that have most of the links that is going to attract you. If you are buying the domain because of BBC, check if the BBC backlink is pointing to the homepage. If it's not pointing to the homepage, it's a red flag. Just forget about the expired domain. But if you are buying it because of Wikipedia, also check if the Wikipedia backlink is pointing to the homepage. If it's not pointing to the homepage, it's a red flag. Let's also analyze this particular one that I just saw now and click the backlinks. Once I go to under the backlinks, this is very, very important. Pay attention again. And I'm also going to show how to utilize expired domain, why you don't need to point into your main money site. We are going to be talking about how to create a subdomain and create a good content in that subdomain and push the 301 redirecting. Calm down, this is very, very important. You don't even need to skip any part. Now you need to consider the percentage of the do follow of that backlink. Once you consider the percentage, the next thing you need to consider if the backlink that is pointing to this website are also going to be pointing to the home page. Okay, this is it. We are going to choose active. Under active, we are going to choose follow. Okay, this is very, very important. We're going to click follow backlink. Please don't buy expired domain that most of the links that is going to attract you to buy it are not pointing to the home page. If it's not pointing to the home page, let's assume we want to buy this one. Okay, we have almost 1, 2, 3. We have over 3. We have also 5, 6, almost 6 of the links are pointing to the home page. Okay, and you also need to analyze the type of link that is pointing to the home page. If those links do not worth it, don't buy it. Okay, now let's assume, for example, now this is blogspot domain. Okay, it's not even reachable any longer. This is very, very bad, and this is something you need to analyze. But if some of you, if you just see a matrix without analyzing, you just buy expired domain immediately, register it and redirect to your website, this is a very bad practice. So buy expired domain that half of the domains are pointing to the homepage. And if it's BBC you are buying, because you are buying the expired domain that have the expired domain have the BBC backlink, make sure that the BBC backlink is pointing to the example.com, not example/category, because those are not going to be available any longer. Now if we go over, let's say for example, scroll down, I want to take my time to show exactly good practice you need to take. Now this particular domain is pointing to the home page. Now if we open one of it, you can easily analyze to know if this is a good buy. Okay, if it's not a good buy, because you need to know the website that is giving a backlink from the home page, if it's worth it. If it's worth it, that's when you're going to take a decision to create a subdomain and redirect this expired domain to the subdomain and create the same anchor text that is giving you link from this expired domain. I'm going to explain that. Just calm down, don't skip. Now let's go and pick one of the domain that I find that have good. Okay, this is one of the domain that I found for a good example. Okay, and this is the domain. Okay, I'm going to click search. Now this is very, very important. Pay attention. And if you see expired domains that half of the backlinks are pointing to the homepage, the score is going to be 5. Any expired domain that you find the domain score on SEMrush is 2, just know it's a bad domain. Half of the backlinks are pointing to content, non-existing content. So if you buy the expired domain, it's a waste of money and it's a waste practice. Now if you find expired domain that have the domain score, this is the authority score is 5, 10, 6, 20 to 30, that means it's a good expired domain. Okay, that's just the best. So we're going to go to the backlink. There is a secret that I want to leak here. It's very important. You don't even need to skip. Now if you watch it right now, we're going to scroll down. We're going to choose under do follow, and I'm going to show the best practice. Okay, it's just the best. Nobody have ever shared it on this YouTube. In fact, YouTube entirely, nobody have shared this secret. Now if you go here, you're going to see the domain. Half of these domains are pointing to the home page. Now let me also filter it. Let me go to active and choose do follow, and almost 94% of the domains are do follow, and few of those domains are pointing to the home page. Now let me open one of these back. Now this is a do follow backlink that is pointing to the home page. Is going to load up. This is a sports news website. Remember, I'm finding expired domain under sports. Okay, remember what I said. Find expired domain that is close to your niche, and also find expired domain that half of the links are pointing to the home page, not on the content and the category. So if you are buying a domain because you have a Wikipedia, make sure that the Wikipedia is pointing to the home page. Okay, this is the website that is giving the expired domain that I'm using, for example, backlink. And this is the second website. Now there is a way we are going to utilize this authority, and these link juice are going to flow back to our money sites without stress. So pay attention. Now if we check over here and do Control U, for example, and do Control F and paste that domain to look for it, you see that the expired domain, the backlink we got from this sports news website, sportingnews.com. This is a high authority website with a DA, high DA, more than 99 DA if I'm not mistaken. Now this backlink is pointing to the homepage, and the anchor text is this particular Lika theme room. Now what we are going to do is to create a subdomain with our main domain, okay, and create a content that talks about link room. Sorry, link room, Lika room, Lika theme room. Sorry, for example, sorry for that mistake, Lika theme room. Now we're going to create a content about this particular stuff. We don't know about it. Instead of doing a 300 redirecting to your money site direct, you can do that. You can redirect this domain, since half of the domain high quality backlink that is coming for these domains are pointing to the home page. You can redirect it to your money site direct, but the best practice is for us to create what? A subdomain. So let me clean up this particular example and create and draw something that is going to be very okay. Now let's say, for example, since we're going to be buying this domain, this is our money site. Okay, this is very, very important. This is money site. Okay, let me pause this video and draw it proper. Now this is the place is going to get more interesting. Okay, now since we have already drawn this is a subdomain. What we're going to do right now, for example, if we go over to this place, we're going to write a content. You can use ChatGPT, you can hire content writer from Fiverr, Upwork, or anywhere you want to hire a freelancer that is going to write something about Lika theme room. You should go and do research and find the meaning of this. For example, I'm talking about, for example, the anchor text, for example. Okay, now let's say, for example, if we go here, that means we are going to write a content about Lika theme room. Okay, we're going to write a content about 1000 content, and that inside that 1000 content, we're going to have some of our content being mentioned here. We're also going to tell people like, okay, if you also want to read more about this, that means we're also going to pass a link juice. We're going to drop a content. Okay, content. This is very important. You need to pay attention. This is not just a video you just skip. No. Now what you're going to do again is that you're going to write a content about this particular Lika theme room, and make sure you have your content. You have a content. You are going to put a word that is going to relate to your content here. You're going to interlink from this place. You're going to interlink from this place. This is very, very important. I have to draw it proper. You're going to put internal link that is going to point to one of your content here, or category back to your money site. Remember, this is a subdomain. Your subdomain will have your domain authority. But the main important thing here is that we are trying to do the best strategy that is not going to offend Google and get it right once and for all. Now, since we have already write about this Lika theme room, we are going to also create content with it, and also pass a link, internal link to one of our category to our main website, or content to our main website. The next thing we're going to do is to pick those websites that is giving you backlink, for example. Now you're going to get it done. Let me check. For example, this is it. I'm looking for one of the distant backlink here. Now let's say, for example, I want to go and Peter. Okay, that's it. So we're going to also write about this person, for example, if this is your anchor text of that expired domain you find. Okay, now if we go here and click Ctrl F and paste Peter, and this is the place that is giving us backlink. Okay, now we're also going to be talking about Peter inside our subdomain. That's just it. So we're going to put for example, we're going to write another content about Peter. And okay, sorry, not Peter, sorry, let's assume it's Peter. So now this is, for example, bad in pronunciation. Now this is it. If you write about this particular anchor text, if your anchor text is how to make money, but it's pointing to the money site, which is direct to the home page of that expired domain. Now we're going to also write a content about it in subdomain and give the internal linking back to the main content in your website or category. Now this is where you're going to get the expired domain. Now get the expired domain, don't redirect it to your money site, and push the expired domain to the subdomain. This is the best strategy of 301 redirecting. And what is going to happen is that the link juice is going to flow here, and once Google visits this page, is going to notice that some of the anchor texts are already, the content is existing here. Some of the content is already existing on this subdomain, and you redirect it. Google is not going to see it as a bad practice. What is going to happen again is that the link juice is also going to send back from the internal linking you push from here back to the money site. And this is the best strategy of doing 301 redirecting. If you have any question towards this video, make sure you comment and ask me. And also, if you use this strategy and it worked for you, make sure you come back to comment on this particular video, and it's going to help me to grow more better. See you guys in the next video. Bye.